Greetings, various denizens of the internet, and welcome back to Tranquility Season 9 semi-finals! Now, it is the Harmony Division as per usual, and as you can see above me, it's Brig Divers versus Dino Nuggies. I'm Funky Monk. I'll be your play-by-play for this evening, and joining me on the right, a first-time caster, we have Nightmare with us today.
Hey, how's it going?
So, Nightmare! You were calling on a bit of short notice. I'd hate to do a 4-map series, well, first a 4-map series on my own. It's great that you're here.
Yep, just going and right in at the deep end, you know?
Yes. Yeah. So, as I have said, it is a first to 4 map series, best of 7, if that's what you prefer. And my oh my, do we have quite the game set up today. Brig Divers and Dino Nuggies definitely teams in the Harmony tier. Of course, you know, that's how they got here, how they got to be in the semi-finals. Tranquility, of course, Tranquility predicting that Brig Divers would take a 4-2 win over Dino Nuggies. Nightmare, as a first-time caster, what's your thoughts on those predictions?
I mean, just coming in here right off the bat, I think I have to say, I probably do favor Brig Divers, you know, purely based off of records. I mean, 7-1 is a pretty solid record to have, and you know, it's pretty hard to, you know, disagree with any sort of predictions saying that they are the favorites. But you know, I've seen Dino Nuggies before. I know that they are a fairly confident team. I mean, they wouldn't be here if they weren't. And you know, I can't say it's completely out of the question that they could mount an upset here.
Well, an upset we might be having. But first map, of course, is Nepal. And we'll be seeing what happens here. You got a little bit of a bracket show off right there. But as you can see, Nepal. What are your thoughts on this, you know, this control map to start with, set in the Himalayan mountains?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think much is really changed from Overwatch 1 in terms of some of the comps that you can tend to see. You know, Winston, I think, can still be a very strong pick, and those kind of dive comps. But you know, we've seen Zarya really rise up in the meta with the, you know, with the removal of that second tank. She's really blown up in terms of the tier lists. So I think probably one of the last few times she's really going to be at the top before the patch comes in and nerfs her. But obviously you can see that Diva again, another really strong pick. So wouldn't be surprised to see some of these come down.
Yeah, well, it looks like we are going to be going into Nepal almost immediately. You hear that music going, Nepal will be Nepal will be the one being played. I have said several times. It'll be interesting to see what these teams play, because obviously, of course, you know, in this sort of lower level style Overwatch, you don't really see, you know, as strict adherence to the meta. But I mean, Zarya and Diva are just such powerful heroes, and a lot of the times the off tanks of these teams, you know, they know how to play them. But it looks like we're going to be seeing Brig Divers on Sim Bastion Rhine. Oh boy!
Yeah, you know, what were you just saying about how these teams around this rank aren't adhering to the meta? Well, this isn't meta at all. But I'm very interested to see how this will work out. I mean, I think Bastion vastly improved in Overwatch 2 than in Overwatch. So I'm interested to see what Sora can do on this pick. Whereas the Dino Nuggies a much more standard comp. We'll have to see how that works.
Yeah, this comp also seen in the grand finals of the Overwatch League. We're not quite on that patch yet. The various nerfs haven't gone through, but it's still a strong comp nonetheless. They're going to be trying to force out the Sojourn, and all the way back in their spawn, they find the pick early on in that fight. But Brig Divers have taken the point. They will be able to hold that down for a little bit longer. Karama trying to push forward, gets that turret out of the Bastion, and that's just so much damage, but even more damage coming in from Maxu, who manages to find Sora, as well as the lamp of Brig Divers. Now they need to just focus down the target, and hopefully they can win the fight. LH Plat, though, too, with one swing, taking out both Mate and Yoshi at the same time. Choari really trying to keep this fight alive. It will be Prostitute and Maxu on this point pretty much alone, and Dino Nuggies managing to flip that from pure person advantage. What do you make of that?
I mean, LH Plat tried their best there to hold on to that, but I think a huge mistake on the side of Illinois getting caught out there. Just somehow got left behind from the rest of the team, got isolated. Big Divers took that fight 4v5 the most part, impressive they were able to get any percentage on it at all.
Yeah, the swip onto the Reaper is probably one of the wiser ones. They're a lot better at that close-range brawl, and you can force out that Winston very easily. And it will look like LH Platt is just going to walk forward, swinging that hammer, trying to get Mate. Does manage to find them in the end. Sora as well, melting Kurama and Prostitute, both really trying to keep this fight going for their team, clean up anything else. LH Platt with that last pick onto Yoshi. It will be Maxu alive, quickly taken out by Choa, as Brig Divers are able to recap.
Yeah, I think, like you said, it was a really smart decision to swap onto the Reaper. The comp that Dino Nuggies are running very much wants to be in your face with that Winston and that Reaper, and Brig Divers comp is just going to melt right through that. The Winston really going to struggle to deal with the damage coming through from the Reaper and the Bastion. That shield is not going to last any length of time.
Yeah, no, it looks like Dino Nuggies is going to try and get onto the point as quickly as possible and try and take this fight as far as quickly, but oh my word, that's a 4-person Shadow Prostitute, doesn't have the beat yet, and that's an ensuing Death Blossom picking up 2 there. It will be basically just Maxu remaining. Kurama getting out of there as quickly as possible. Not quite a team kill for Brig Divers, but it may as well have been.
Yeah, that's just a beautiful engage from LH Platt. Just a massive shatter, just pretty much wins the fight right off that alone. So like invest in the ultimate just to back it up. It's a brilliant engage.
Yeah, Dino Nuggies know how almost at all 5 ultimates they will be trying to get onto point. The artillery from the Bastion, though, trying to get one of those picks. Doesn't quite account for the Wraith form of the Reaper, but they do not account for the assault configuration of the Bastion. Just melts through Mate almost immediately. 2 ults now from Dino Nuggies. The Death Blossom not quite finding anything. That beat was just too excessive, but that increased fire rate on the Reaper just melts through LH Platt. Kurama picking up the final kill with that Tesla cannon damage. They will be trying to push forward now as the Bastion does have its assault configuration back, and it'll be just enough to force out the Primal Rage from Kurama. Mate and Maxu both managing to focus down that Bastion. Choa taken down as well. Kurama with the Primal Rage cleaning everything up, and Dino Nuggies somehow in that scuffle managed to flip the point.
I mean, that's his ult difference right there. I mean, Dino Nuggies had pretty much every ult that they had and used them. I mean, Brig Divers, I think they did their best given the circumstances, but I think you're always going to find a fight hard to win in those situations.
Yeah, they will be holding up this high ground now, and it'll be pretty difficult for Dino Nuggies, I think, just because of the sheer amount of close-range damage that they have. The window has come out now, and the assault configuration will be just shooting through it, melting Kurama almost immediately. That's the main tank completely gone. Prostitute forced out into the open, taken out there by Choa Noi. Maxu managing to find a rotatory pick onto Sora and finding Yoshi as well from Choa. It will be a decent fight here from Brig Divers. They do invest in the Shatter. It doesn't quite find anything, but that don't really need to, as it is 95 on the objective right now. Maxu's just been taken out. It'll be a miracle if they can finally touch, and it will be Prostitute managing to get the overtime here.
Yep, but it's not going to matter much. I mean, they're just showing themselves to play in desperation now, but it looks like this first point is going to go to Brig Divers. Not much more Dino Nuggies can do.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to get this second contest back here, but, I mean, they were just a little bit too slow there. Both Death Blossoms coming out at the same time there, but yeah, just an overall dominant performance from Brig Divers there. Ult economy was a key factor in that, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, Dino Nuggies, their comp just really struggled to deal with what Brig Divers were bringing. You know, the only fight they were really able to win was that one where they invested all 5 of their ultimates. Ready to see if they're gonna stick with it, because if Brig Divers they continue on with the comp that they're running, Dino Nuggies are really gonna struggle. You know, they really did not have an answer to it. Bastion was just, for the most part, just free firing in the back, was just left completely unanswered. And that's just not a pick you can let free fire like that. It just pumps out way too much damage way too quickly.
Yeah, we will be seeing them swap over to a more conventional Winston composition. We do have the Sombra and the Genji here, so it's not quite what they ran in Owl, but, you know, that doesn't really matter, as Choa and Sora are probably both very proficient on these heroes. They're going to try and take a little bit of an early fight here, just trying to get something done. Sora looking for that hack in that backline, really trying to isolate a target. They managed to find one onto Mate, and the rush comes in thick and fast. The target focus just isn't quite there. Mate is managing to escape on very little HP, and it will be Maxu finding those first 2 picks onto LH Platt and Kuma at the same time. Rest in pieces, just trying to fight for their life. They will be taken out after much deliberation there, and it will be Dino Nuggies taking that first point.
Yeah, I think this is the problem with Sombra as a whole in Overwatch 2. Unless you can find that pick, which is very hard when you're playing against a comp that's so close together as what Dino Nuggies is running, you're effectively playing these fights without a second DPS. And that's always going to... I mean, especially now with the and move that 5 to 5. It's a lot more damaging to not have that DPS in these fights, and you saw it there. Nuggies win that pretty effectively.
Well, that's enough HP Sojourn that's just been hacked, and the rush comes in from Brig Divers. Sorry, LH Plat managing to get that first pick onto Mate. That's a lot of damage from Dino Nuggies just taken out of the fight there. It will be them trying to find another pick though. Prostitute has been hacked out, so we'll see if the target focus is enough. The hack wears off though, and it will be Yoshi and Maxu picking up those next 2 kills. Choa managing to find Prostitute, might also find Yoshi if they're quite lucky with it. Unfortunately, they are not. Maxu managing to take out Rest in Pieces as well. Choa only just being taken out at the last seconds in that fight. Sora getting a little bit of a stagger onto Maxu, but the fight's already won there for Dino Nuggies.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing these fights extremely well. They know exactly how to deal with the Sombra. They're just staying really close together, not letting anyone be isolated to get that free pick for the side of Brig Divers. They're going to try and go to high ground here, just get a bit of harass. We'll jump back once things get too scary.
Yeah, they do get a little bit of poke in there. LH Plat just dropping there to make things a little bit easier. Both Kitsune rushes now coming out from either side. The Death Blossoms are there. They are available. It's only Prostitute that dies though, but a pick might just be enough. But the Lucio on the other end has been taken out, and the Death Blossom comes through. It's been taken out, and it's a 5k for the entire team of Dino Nuggies. Very nicely come back there. As the ticker goes up to 90.
Yoshi was incredibly clutch there. Just prevented a ton of damage from that Choanoi's Death Blossom. Did not get anywhere near as much value as he thought they might have. The engage comes in, EMP comes out.
That's a fat EMP, finds all of the members of Dino Nuggies, but there just simply isn't enough follow-up damage, and Prostitute is allowed to get that beat off. It will be really trying to keep that fight going. Mateo on the Sojourn, really trying to make something work here. They will be taken out by Mateo, and Akuma will come back with the retaliatory beats. They've only lost to Sombra, unfortunately, but Choa is the main source of damage here. Kurama's fallen very, very low. They get taken out by Choa once again on the Reaper, holding that left click for dear life. Brig Divers finally managing to recap.
Man, I was doing my analysis, assuming this point was already over. Brig Divers coming out of nowhere, LH Plat with the O, salvaging this point for the side of Brig Divers. And yeah, I mean, it's still very much an uphill battle for him to take this point, but it's a start.
Yeah, I mean, if Mate can make something work here with this, with this overclock, there could be some potential here for Dino Nuggies to get a nice, quick, and clean fight.
Oh, no.
Teleporting
careful,
up. Oh, the Wraith form has been forced out there. That's not something you want to do, and they're just going to be rushing onto that Reaper now with the knowledge that they can't really do much about it. The overclock coming out there from Mate, shooting at a shield. Not quite the most optimal use of that, Sunny. And it will be Choa with the Death Blossom, finding 2 there. Sora as well on the Tracer, getting 2 of their own, and it will be a team kill there for Brig Divers, as Dino Nuggies sent back to spawn and trying to reassess their strategy here.
Yeah, Choanoi on this Reaper is an absolute menace. Just doing so much work, just doing so much damage, coming up clutch every single time their team needs them to.
Yeah, they will be holding this little bit high ground here. The Disruptor Shot just trying to get Brig Divers to run away there. They will be going through main now. Dino Nuggies really trying to get something done here. The Kitsune Rush coming out from both sides, but it's Prostitute who dies first, and that's huge for Brig Divers. They can just rush in now. They have half as much healing, and Choa and LH Plat take out 2 there. Choa with a 3rd, and that's almost a team kill, I think. Prostitute I think it's just Mate who was able to survive there just by calling the fight as lost and running away.
Yeah, this is a disaster for Dino Nuggies. If they lose the point from this position, lose a map from the position that they were in, that's a disastrous way to start this series off. And now you see LH has the ult.
Yeah, Karama's just going to be trying to stall something out with this Primal Rage, try and get something done. Sora with the Pulse Bomb going in for the stick, manages to find the Reaper, the Wraith form force. Brig Divers have an easy target now, and it will be almost LH Plat getting that, protection Suzu, not having to use that Primal Rage yet. As I say that, they do pop it, trying to get the members of Dino Nuggies off of the point. Prostitute with the beat now. Maxu coming up on that Death Blossom. Kuma only just has the beat now. They get it used. All members of Brig Divers now having that overhealth, and it will be Maxu trying to make something work with this Death Blossom, but disaster, they get taken out, and Choa with the retaliatory Death Blossom manages to find one in the form of Prostitute. LH Plat following up with a kill onto Mate. It's only Yoshi alive, and that'll be it. Brig Divers first map.
Wow, what a comeback on that point. Brig Divers showing their class, showing why they were predicted to win this series already in game 1, making a statement.
Yeah, I mean, you can't... Not many teams are able to come back from that 0-99 deficit, but I think we've just seen that happen today with Brig Divers, and I gotta tell you, this sets a strong precedent for them.
Yeah, and now the real question is going to be, how are Dino Nuggies going to react to that, right? Because that happening so early on the series, that's got to be a bit of a tilter, right? To lose a map in that fashion. Well, I mean, Brig Dive, I mean, LH Plat and Choanoi were just insane, that map. And honestly, if they continue on playing like that for the rest of the series, Dino Nuggies, they're in real trouble already.
Yeah, the coordination and the target focus coming out there from Brig Divers was definitely stellar. I'm not quite sure what map we have next. I'm pretty sure it's I don't know what map we have next, so it'll be interesting to see what we have. But what are you hoping to see?
I mean, honestly, if all the maps keep going like that one, then I honestly don't care. These teams are gonna put on a banger to wherever they play. You know, because that was, you know, even though it was 2-0 in favor of Brig Diving, that was a really fun first map.
Yeah, it was definitely fun to see both teams go back and forth with their varying takes on the meta. Dino Nuggies trying to prepare for next patch, of course, where we see, you know, a lot of the more dominant factors in this meta get taken down a peg, you know, Sombra and Genji being two of them. But it's interesting that Brig Divers started to win fights after they'd swapped off these so-called meta heroes. They'd go on to the Reaper, they'd go on to the Tracer even, and just really try and tear through the backline of Dino Nuggies as quickly as possible. Yeah,
I mean, I would argue that Reaper is now a fairly meta pick. I just think he does so much. He's such a difficult character to deal with now these days. And I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen a Reaper just walking towards me and the rest of the team, knowing the ultimate's going to come and knowing there's nothing you can do about it because it's all to remove all the CC, right? Reapers weren't as much of a threat back in Overwatch when you could just CC them out fairly easily. But now that most of the CC's gone, it's just an absolute menace of a character to deal with. And once I mean, obviously, like you said, once they swapped back onto that Reaper, I mean, Dino Nuggies, they just didn't have an answer to it. And they need to come up with an answer, and fast, because honestly, there's no reason why they can't just continuously pick this Reaper, you know? Like, Nepal is not just a specific map where you could just pick Reaper anywhere, and it's going to be that good. So we need to see what Dino Nuggies come up with.
Yeah, I personally kind of hope to see a D.Va pick from Dino Nuggies, because, you know, D.Va definitely very good at shutting down those sort of Reaper-y dives. Next map, of course, being, I think I heard Midtown. Yes, going to New York, New York. The city's so nice, they named it, well, they didn't name it twice, there's just a state and there's a city.
They just sang about it twice.
They sang about it twice. They say about it loads. They really just will not shut up about New York. Well, in terms of hybrid, Midtown is definitely one of those more interesting maps where that first point is... it used to be very difficult to attack, I think, but I think as people have gotten sort of used to the way that it works, people have taken different pathing options, and it's not as quite a daunting task as it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, for that first point, even though it's kind of like, you know, a bit of a choke point going underneath that bridge. I mean, there are, like you said, there are multiple kind of different ways that you can approach it. You know, you could go head on. You can go on either the side paths. You know, there are options for these teams, and we'll see what each of them decide to go with. A very, very interesting map. I think a very welcome change up to the hybrid map pool.
A lot of music. But yeah, definitely a welcome addition to the hybrid map pool. I mean, any map is a welcome addition to the pool.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a fair point.
You know?
Anything new is nice to have.
Yeah, Midtown definitely taking a little bit of inspiration from Watchpoint Gibraltar there, as we see with that little underpass with the high ground above it. I think it's just a very dynamic map, and there's a lot of stuff that you could play here that could work. Although I imagine we'll be seeing, we're going to be seeing Reaper, and Dino Nuggies subbing in Axel there on the Reaper, their other tank player. They've taken out Kurama, just put him on the bench for a while, and I think Brig Divers have also subbed out their tank player, which is interesting, because they're on the same heroes.
Yeah, I mean, I think bar Choanoi, I think LH Plat was probably second best player on Nepal. I find the switch very strange. I don't know. Obviously, we don't know the exact reasons behind it, maybe the table is more comfortable on Midtown than LH Plat, or if there are other reasons, but whatever it is, we'll see what they can do. Got a big game 1 to live up to. We'll see what they can do on it. I mean, it's interesting that Brig Dive is going back to this Sombra Genji. That did not work at all for them previously, although maybe with the different angles of approach, Sora can do a bit more on this pick. We'll see what they do on it. They're going to rush straight through, across to the side. This is what we're talking about the different angles of approach, right?
Yeah, they get to avoid a lot of poke there, but I mean, you know, the only really poke they're going to receive is from the Kiriko here. Sora's definitely going to try and look for a hack here after they replace the translocator. Yeah, they're going above. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's not, you know, it's definitely an approach that you can use. It minimizes the amount of poke that you're able to take, and I mean, Brig Divers are gonna have to like full commit onto Dino Nuggies, but all the while Dino Nuggies stay there, the time bank is running out, and it will be Mateo almost falling victim to a little bit of a Kiriko Kunai there. The dive now coming in from Dino Nuggies, but it will be Maxu hacked out and finished off there by Kuma with the aid of the Sombra, and Dino Nuggies are just going to have to retreat now because they've lost their main source of close range damage.
Yep, just a really nice pick there from the side of from Sora. I mean, an interesting actual answer into Maxu on the Reaper. You know, the only problem is that he can be really hard to kill, especially with that raid form. But if you just remove that ability from the kit, I mean, pretty easy to take down, I guess. As Maxu almost gets one shot.
Yeah, I mean, those Kiriko knives are definitely not to be trifled with, and I think Brig Divers, knowing now what Dino Nuggies want to do, are going to be a little bit more proactive. It looks like they tried to fake a rotation, trying to go for a little bit of a thing. Okay. Choa with the blade, gets pulled out. They hack out Prostitute just to make sure he can't beat. That's an absolutely amazing play there from Sora, and of course the blade is lovely as well, picking up 3 there from Choa. It will be Axel, the last one alive, and is that a ghost dash? Did Choa just ghost dash on us? Is that beautiful. A montage clip? I think that's a montage clip for Choa.
I think you told that in a montage for sure.
Absolutely.
Needless to say, I think the Genji Sombra are doing much better on Midtown than they did in Nepal.
And I guess it's all about sightlines, really. I mean, if you can isolate a target a lot better, you know, in this sort of area where there's a choke that you have to push past, and I mean, Sora's just lurking in the backline now. They almost have the EMP online. Yoshi could be in trouble here. They might get a little bit of a cheeky hack out on there, but I don't imagine that's what they're going to be going for. They might be trying to go for Maxu here, or maybe another support. Who knows? But they all go in. Both Kitsune rushes come out. Mateo with that fantastic disruptor shot, managing to take 2 members out without even breaking a sweat. Forces the Primal Rage out from the table, which isn't really what you want to be using when you're down 2. Maxu managing to find also Rest in Pieces, who is, of course, resting in pieces. The table 1 HP there, taken out there swiftly by the Reaper, and it will be Dino Nuggies able to finally cap this point.
And hard to believe that they don't think that character needs a nerf, right? Oh boy.
I know, right?
That's
you know,
man.
No, we gotta trust the devs. The character is totally balanced, no need for nerfs whatsoever. They're really trying to recontest here. Brig Divers. Choa, really low HP, gets railgunned in the face, and Yoshi picking up 2 there with the kunais. They're really trying to keep this one going. The table's 1 HP once again gets taken out, and it will be Dino Nuggies capping the point with 3 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, good for Dino Nuggies that they were finally able to get that point, but on the side of Brig Divers, I mean, they took 3.5 minutes off that time bank for the side of Dino Nuggies. I mean, that's a pretty good hold by any standard.
Yeah, and they only had to use the Kitsune Rush as well.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, see what Dino Nuggies, you have pretty much all their ultimates up. We'll see what they can do.
See what they can do. Oh, that's a big Death Blossom. Doesn't actually find anyone though, and it will be Choa with the Death Blossom finding 3. Prostitute a little bit late on the beat, and that's a team kill for the side of Brig Divers. Oh my word, Dino Nuggies had so many ults, and they had to use 2 there. But I mean, Brig Divers also, they used 3, so it will be, you know, they will be at a little bit of a deficit coming into this next fight.
I mean, Choa Noi is showing Maxu how you actually play Reaper. I mean, I feel it's been a few times now where Maxu's tried to get the Death Blossom, has not found anything, only for Choa Noi to just clean up immediately afterwards.
Yeah, of course, man. And now I think they're really going to try and intercept Dino Nuggies on this rotation here. Yeah, you see Choa, knowing which way they want to go, just trying to camp this bit out. Hiding in the wings, coming in from the side. Only taking 3 or 4, 5, maybe 6 shots now to execute a kill. The Kitsune Rush now coming in from Brig Divers. That increased fire rate is going to work wonders for that Reaper. All ults now being used on the side of Dino Nuggies. Be a real shame if they lost this fight. And Maxu trying to make that not the case. Taking out Choa Noi. The table falling 1 HP. Rest in pieces. Only just managing to secure a little bit of a pick. Forgotten about the payload, but they have forced Brig Divers far enough back so that they can finally get some cart progression going.
Man, what a chaotic fight. When you have 10 characters in that small hallway all using ultimates, it's pretty hard to follow exactly what's going on, but Dino Nuggies are able to get the fight. Oh, Yoshi could be in trouble here.
Could be a little bit of trouble, but that hitbox is very, very slim, and it's very difficult to try and execute that kill, even with the 40% damage boost from the hack. Brig Divers now trying to get back in where they came from, trying to capitalize on this hack onto Maxu, but it will not be in their favor. The table getting a little bit isolated. They have to use the beat on both sides because both teams were very, very low HP. They're really trying to build their ults here. Maxu's almost at the Death Blossom. There's nothing really to stop it. The table's been taken out. Maxu manages to find one there in the form of Rest in Pieces. Gets hacked out of it though, but doesn't really seem to phase him as he manages to take out 3 in that fight there. Only the Sombra really left, and they get a little bit staggered.
Yeah, Maxu finally able to clear themselves of Choa Noi. Gets that ult just before they do. Wins the fight pretty much solo off of it. But Choa Noi has the ult. He's gonna use it.
It goes in, but it doesn't find anyone because Mateo's just able to like slide away. And with that railgun unshot, it'll secure the fight for Dino Nuggies, I think. Those 4 picks are very difficult to come back from, even if you are one of the most overpowered characters in the game. Maxu once again coming up big there with at least 3 kills.
Yeah, for once, Choa Noi on the Reaper not getting anything off that ultimate, just able to kite it out really effectively. Almost showing in desperation, thinking that if they win that fight, they'll stop the payload altogether, but just wasn't able to come through. Maxu and clean up the fight. And now he's taking a very aggressive approach here. Only have a minute, so it's still going to be really tough for them to full cap this. Which would has the EMP.
It's looking like a big EMP. It finds all 5 members of Dino Nuggies, and I'd assume they're just going to be able to win the fight off of that. All the members are very, very low HP. I mean, that's still hacked, and they're still pushing all the way into their spawn. Choa, with that M1 key taped down, managing to pick up Yoshi there with the aid of Sora. Rest in pieces with a cheeky little headshot onto Mateo, and now there's only 30 seconds left for Dino Nuggies to make some kind of stand. Both sides with the Primal Rage and the Kitsune Rush, but the overclock is on the side of Dino Nuggies.
I mean, some of these engages from Big Divers have just been absolutely chef's kiss. I know it's a beautiful ult from Sora, and there's perfect amount of follow-up. Great coordination side of Big Divers. They're going to go in here. After now, it's all now or never.
Here comes the overclock. Mateo looking to find something big with it. Doesn't quite manage to, unfortunately. They will have to be using the Kitsune Rushes here. Both coming out from either side. The beat as well from Prostitute. Trying to make something work here. They're all the way in the backline there. Axel trying to pick something up, anything, a pick to try and get this fight won, but no, it'll be the table managing to find an early pick onto Matei. And it will be Choa with the Death Blossom managing to find 2. Prostitute trying to claw this back desperately, only to be taken out once again by Choa. Maxu tries to Death Blossom. It was ill-fated as Brig Divers managed to hold this point at 53.05 meters.
Yeah, another really solid team fight there from the side of Brig Divers. Was able to stop it before Dino Nuggies. Not able to get all 3 points, but still putting in a fairly decent attack. Now it's down to Brig Divers. Can they beat it? Can they go 2-0 up in the series? I mean, based on how those team fights are going, you wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, Dino Nuggies really need to pull something out of the bag, but they do have 2 full points to hold here, so I wouldn't be surprised if Dino Nuggies were able to make something work here, maybe a slight change in strategy just to try and accommodate for that Reaper. Yeah, definitely be really interesting to see what Dino Nuggies play here, and I think it'll be more of the same. You know, they just forgot the Diva hero exists.
I mean, I think Dino Nuggies' whole defense here, I know it might sound silly, but I think it all lives and dies on how well they defend this first point. You know, if they lose a point, win the first attack or 2, I mean, you gotta call it on the map, honestly, because that's just so much time for Brig Divers to beat your score, right? You know, you did not full cap you only, I think, barely got over halfway on that second point. So if they give them any sort of lengthy time bank, you got to fancy them to do it. So, you know, Dino Nuggies have to kind of match what Brig Divers did on their first point of defense. You know, got to hold them off 3.5 minutes, something like that. If they want to have a chance.
Yeah, that sort of momentum is very, very difficult to hold, but Dino Nuggies will have to give it a go. Brig Divers, once again, on this sort of, you know, 5 guys, 6-man-esque comp, sort of a spiritual successor to it with that Kiriko and the lack of the Diva. Trying to fight this out in that little subway corridor, but I think Sora's trying to wrap around, find a cheeky hack early on. Maybe they'll try and go over the roof. No, they'll just try and backcap and force Dino Nuggies away from the train, and that's a very, very smart strategy. Although the table does fall very, very low to Maxu's Reaper, they're really going to try and get something done here. Both main tanks very, very low HP. The table only just managing to get out alive, maybe. Oh no, they get taken out there by Mateo, and it will be Dino Nuggies able to clean up this fight relatively quickly. Prostitute managing to find that kill onto Choa. They're really rushing it down here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice attempt from the side of Brig Divers, forcing on to that point, because you basically essentially forced Dino Nuggies into a choice: either take the fight 5v4 and give up point progression, or divert away, stop the point, but possibly end up losing the fight. Dino Nuggies actually end up getting the best of both worlds. Take the fight, win it, but also stopping Sora from getting even a tick. They're going to try and go for it again. We'll see how it works out this time.
Yeah, they do have the Kiriko a little bit distracted. That disruptor shot's going to be very key in stopping Brig Divers from progressing any further, but unfortunately, Axel didn't quite get enough healing there as Kuma manages to take them out. The beat coming out there from Prostitute, trying to get things going a little bit here. Brig Divers are still hesitant to push, and, well, they shouldn't be anymore, because Choa on that Reaper guy did the special move and picked up 2 on Prostitute and Mateo, respectively. There's not really much that Dino Nuggies to do now apart from wait. I mean, Brig Divers have all 5 members alive. They've gotten 2 ticks now. Almost 2 ticks now. It'll be very interesting to see if Dino Nuggies can do anything here, frankly.
Yeah, it's all about stall now. They know the fight's lost. They know the point is gone. It's just about how much time can they buy. And, I mean, they're buying a little bit of time, but obviously not going to last too much longer. And coming into the second point now with just over 4 minutes. Gonna be close.
That's a hefty time bank, and that's a really lovely stagger kill there onto Maxu. I mean, Brig Divers can just push forth and try and clear everything up. They really have a lot of space to work with now. You know, they've already taken this high ground. I mean, that's a very difficult place to push through. Sora has the EMP, so even if Dino Nuggies try and push forward, there's a, you know, there's a Spanish lady waiting for you.
Yeah, and here's the thing, now because Brig Divers have the high ground, it forces Dino Nuggies to have to go into this small enclosed area. So Sora's going to get a huge EMP here.
Oh, and it is a huge EMP. Finds 4, but the cleanse from the Kiriko is too much. It wipes away all of the hack, and it will be Brig Divers on the back foot, even with that Kitsune rush. Yoshi managing to take out Choa. It's the key source of damage there, and Maxu able to press W and M1 at the same time and pick up almost 2 there. Rest in Peace is having to use, you know, all of their abilities just to get out alive.
I know we kind of been focusing a lot on how Brig Divers play, but I gotta give a shout out to Yoshi on this Kiriko. They've had some incredibly clutch protection Zuzus already this series, and now there's another one there. Save that fight.
Yeah, I mean, Brig Divers are only going to have the beat here. Choa almost having, you know, that Death Blossom, but I think it'll be Maxu using it first, and oh dear, it doesn't work again, and Choa manages to take out Prostitute. Oh, that's a huge shame for Dino Nuggies, and now Brig Divers can just walk forward, press M1, clean up the rest of the people, and it will be Brig Divers getting more progression on that cart.
Man, it's so unfortunate for Maxu. I think Lucio lived on a sliver of HP before he got the boop off, before the beat went through, but just could not finish the kill and probably changed the course of that fight. Oh, it's just,
yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, Dino Nuggies are really trying to go for a bit of a wraparound strat here. They do have ultimates online. They can push forward with these. Prostitute has the beat again, so the fight isn't immediately lost, but oh, it is now. It is now. Choa showing us why the Reaper guy is so potent. Picking up
oh my God,
5K. That's
5K.
filthy.
Yep,
Choa.
That shouldn't be allowed.
Style on him harder, why don't you?
I don't think that's literally not possible. I mean,
Look at emotes. You know, pull out a souvenir. Those are new, right?
What a team player.
Yeah.
Pushing that objective. Sacrificing the emo at the end of the play of the game to push the objective. Gotta respect it.
Definitely a valiant thing to do. Now, Brig Divers have that EMP. They do have that Kitsune Rush. They both come out from either side. Prostitute really trying to keep this going, using the beat early, but it's still a free EMP for Sora. If the members of Brig Divers are able to stay alive for as long as they can, Sora now has the EMP, but Dino Nuggies have managed to take out 2. It's a disaster scenario for Brig Divers, but even then, they still have 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I think Sora was just about to go through with that EMP until those picks just came through with the side Dino Nuggies, decides against it. Both still have that ultimate up, and actually the only ultimate that's going to be up for this fight. So I think eyes on Sora, but can Yoshi have another one of those fantastic protection series to clear it? See what they can do. They're going to be caught up in it though.
Sora makes sure to get Yoshi in that, and it's a 4-person EMP, but Prostitute manages to take out Sora almost immediately afterwards. That's all the damage bonuses from the hacks just completely taken out of the fight. That's a disaster. Prostitute with a second now on Fukuma. Oh, this is disastrous for Brig Divers. Sora's now on the Tracer just to try and keep this going for a little bit longer, but Choa trying to keep this going, has taken out Maxu. They're on very, very low HP, but they do have the special move. They try and go in to do it. Managing to take out Mateo, almost taking out Prostitute, the table managing to finish that one off. Axel having to go all the way in just to try and keep things going. But it will be Brig Divers able to secure this point. The table just trying to get a Primal Rage in, stopping them from touching. It will be Maxu with that last touch, but oh no, he just got bursted. Brig Divers once again just putting on an absolute clinic for us here today.
Yeah, I mean, how many times do you guys say it? Illinois on this Reaper. Just, wait, what? What is that the play of the game?
We had a 5K. We had a 5K. Play the game algorithm is bugged, but I mean, it never hurts to see a Genji blade, does it? I mean, it's really...
It hurts if you're down. It hurts if you're a Dino Nuggies fan.
I guess, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Illinois is it's insane.
Oh, that's brilliant. If you want to see, if you want to see more from this, be sure to stick around. If you want to see Brig Divers cap, well, do I have news for you. If you head on over to tranquility.gg, that's the website that we're going for. There's a little tab that says shop. If you go down to that, you'll find a cap with the Brig Divers logo on it. You can pick one up for a little over $20, a little over 20 euros as well, £17 for my fellow Brits. But yeah, I mean, that was just a roller coaster, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this has been a really, really good series so far. But Brig Divers, you know, they were the favorites going into this series, and they just have that little bit more quality in these fights, and it's really coming through. Their team fighting has just been impeccable.
Yeah, I mean, Brig Divers definitely had a little bit of coordination on their side. Obviously, you see those EMPs, those were huge. The follow-up that was definitely there, but I mean, Prostitute pulled out some absolute heroics during that fight. I mean, they really tried to get things going for their side. But yeah, that'll be all for this section of the broadcast. We will be going on a little bit of a hiatus now, a little bit of a break. But don't go anywhere. You'll be able to watch this thrilling conclusion. At least 2 maps to go. At most, 5. Be sure to stick around for the epic conclusion.
Thinking now and then they come around. Little do I know about you now. But I'm pretty sure that you're the one. Go around the night and have some fun. Something about the way you make me feel. Everything about you can be real. I'll do anything to have you here, my dear. Winter night, the whole city is covered white. Life was boring.